What's good, YouTube? Soul Productions here with another True Draco deck profile back. Um, I've been testing this deck out for a while. I've been playing this deck for God knows how long, and it's probably been one of my favorite pet decks to play when I go to locals and even regionals. Uh, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what I've been doing. If you want to see more True Draco content, go ahead and smash that like button and hit subscribe. Also, nice, awesome playmat I got from Team Sam. This was one of my Christmas presents, so happy about that. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the deck profile, shall we? Start with the monsters. We have three Ignis. He is your good card. As I do three Ignis, two Maiden, and one Dynamite. This should be your monster ratio count up. These are all the monsters I run. I'm probably going to get a lot of criticism for not running Inspector Border or even a Mono Iwata in the main. However, I feel like my deck should be just based around the Draco monsters. Like, you don't need more than 6 monsters. I was running a third one of her, but I cut it to 2 because I felt like I was bricking more than I was. I felt like Maiden was bricking me more than helping me, so 2 is fine. 3, the best but the worst, and then Dynamite's at 1. I probably would be running more of him if he wasn't limited, but unfortunately, I think Konami hates this deck with a burning passion. So, um, that's it for monsters. For your spells, you're gonna run 3 diagram and the 1 terraforming. Just the 4th diagram to search out these. Diagram is it's great, but at the same time it's a clunky mess. Like, opening up multiples of these suck, and you want to like resource it properly. Like, I have a 50-50 relationship with this card, but yeah. Anyways, on to the Draco spells. We run uh 3 heritage and 3 disciples. Standard, you should max out on your Draco cards. This recycles your cards from graveyard to hand if you have 3 targets in your grave. Also, it helps you draw a card on top of that. This draws you the amount of cards. This draws the amount of Draco cards that were sent to the graveyard this turn from field. Both of them are really good, and this one is especially good. I think I prefer this one over this one. At times, because this one will help me recycle my resources because I run desires in this build. But heritage is just as good. Like, you can cut down a heritage to 2. I just feel like with desires, I feel like maxing out and is fine because if you banish 1, then you don't need all your other resources. Speaking of which, for the draw power, I run 2 desires. Honest to God, I have a love-hate relationship with this card. It's great for plussing and unclogging your deck. If you get past the first Ash Blossom and you have more to your play, and you don't have to worry about anything negating it, it is absolutely so free. Next for the draw power, this next card is, in my opinion, the reasons why the deck is still any good. 3 card demise. Heart and soul of the deck. This diagram, Apocalypse, and maybe Dynamite are, in my opinion, the reason why the deck is still good. Even with Masterpiece banned. Yeah. This right here is something you have to rely more than this. This is just extra extending the desires. To round off the spells, here's where my deck list gets a little bit weird, because I only run 2 duality. A lot of people say that I've seen people run this at 3. I feel like 2 is correct because you don't need to see 3. Like, if you open up 2, it's really cloggy, and if you duality into duality, it's also really cloggy. So I get that it's an engine card, but it's like, if you need one to get a monster or any of your draw cards or uh, a Draco spell or trap or a diagram or whatever. Like, one gets you there. It's really nothing to be too worried about. That's it for the spells. I think it was, I want to say 16 spells, 6 monsters, so forth. I could be wrong on that. I'll let you know. But yeah, no. I think that's it for the spells. Traps. I run 3 Judgment MVP of the trap lineup. Um, a lot of people say to side this, but I feel like you can main deck it because decks like Orcust and Thunder, or even Salad, are heavy normal summon reliant to start their combos on any of their normal summons. So just negate their normal summon, it will stop their combo for the turn, and you can possibly do rack up damage or lock them out next turn. So that's why I think Judgment's good. Also, it answers annoyances like Twin Twisters, Denko Sekka, Reboot, and Evenly Matched, which is another reason why I love this card. Or any other counter trap that tries to counteract me for that matter. This is the answer to it. Next for the traps, we have the 3 Apocalypse, Standard, and the 1 Return. These are the Draco traps. Returns at 1. I don't know why this is at 1. This is better than this, but you know, it's a core piece. It's just there to act as like an extra normal summon during your opponent's turn, like Apocalypse, or special summon in case you're really that desperate to get a monster. Which, like I said before, the reason why you run cards like Duality and Demise is because this deck doesn't rely on special summoning for shit. um. Next for the floodgates. This is the reason why I love playing the deck. We have 3 Erupt and the 1 skill drain, so basically 4 skill drains. Yeah, so as you can tell, we're playing the Erupt build. I'm playing no extra deck. I think extra deck is a big waste of an investment in this deck. You don't need an extra deck to win, or you don't want to have it to win. I mean, you could build a cheap extra deck or a super poly build with this, but I feel like the Erupt build is so much stronger. Like, how many decks out there can say they're abusing 4 skill drains? I can't think of many. Next, for the MVP of Flood, we run 3. There can only be 1. This upcoming ban list, I would not be surprised if this card went to 1. This is so freaking broken. This card right here. It won me so many of my Orca, Salad, Thunder games, or even Pendulums for that matter if I went first. It just wins games. And if I go second, it breaks boards. Like, I had a Salad player evenly me. I left this on my board. He summons Water Buffalo. I flipped this open, and I literally threw out my hand and said, shake it. It's like, this card's too freaking good. And plus, going second, it also breaks boards. Next, we have 2 Crackdown. Some people play this card, some people don't. Yeah, you are going to be running, Floodgates to lock out your opponent, but you also need another form of disruption. If you're facing something like Orcus and you're going first, you could set this, set this, and then when they make Galatea before they go into Ding, you crack down, you steal the Galatea, and then they can't get into Ding. So that's pretty much a steal on their part. Like, if they can't get out Dingirsu and they used up all their resources to get Galatea, then you're basically set, and you could, go from there. Next is the Soul Drain MVP of the day, along with this. But this was mainly the MVP of the day. This was the reason why I won a lot of my Orcus matchups. Was this one particular card right here. You just flip this, and it's like, I wanted to run Imperial Order in the main, but I feel like this would be better because, well, unlike Salad, Orcus can play around in Imperial Order, so I wanted to have something that was just as equally as damaging, so that's the reason why I main deck Soul Drain. This is my trap lineup. I hope you guys like it. Let's go on to the side deck next. Yeah, that's it for the ratio lineup. If you have any considerations or questions, just leave it down in the comments below. Um, there really isn't too many things I would change in this build. Maybe bump a duality up to 3, but even then, I don't feel like it's worth it. And then, extra deck, non-existent. Let's go on to the side deck. Side is going to be 3 Inspector Border. Yeah, like I said before, I do not want to run Border in the main because it's not that great going second, although it could do some damaging. I would rather have this if I go first. It's such a good card. It shits on Salad, it shits on Thunder Dragon, Dangers, BA, whatever, you name it. And then for going second against a big combo board that will end, that if I know if I'm facing a board that will end on like 3 or more monsters, 3 Sphere Mode. Yeah, this is good right here. This is for going second. This is for going first. I feel like I put my monster ratios correctly here. And then I run no spells in my extra deck, so that's it. I mean, I know I run no spells in my side deck, so that's it for that part. For the traps, for my other stuff, I run 3 evenly. A lot of people say this card's bad, and I'm slowly inclined to agree. I do not. I think I only resolve this card like on a here and there basis. The only reason why I still tend to side deck it is because of well, with road decks being on the rise and a lot of them not having any answer outs to playing around evenly, I can just side it evenly over Sphere Mode, and then I just evenly the board and I win. It's great. And then I run 2 Imperial Iron Wall. Yeah, I took out the Lanciers for this because you don't really want to play hand traps in this deck because you're playing Demise. However, Imperial Iron Wall, you can just like set it and then like during your opponent's draw phase, you just flip it. Like, it not only helps you met with Orcus Thunder, this thing shuts down Grand Manju Turbo very well. So the minute you flip this up against Grand Manju, they can't do anything. They can't play the game. Also, when you're facing Orcus, it also helps. It cripples their plays, and on top of that, it also makes their evenlies worthless. So it's one less thing you have to worry about. And then next for the 2-0s, we run 2 anti-spell. Only because Sky Striker Orcust is on the rise, I feel like this card is fine. Also, it's an auto win against pendulums or any rogue ritual decks like Nekroz that rely heavily on spells. This is fine. Also, with the new support coming out, I feel like more spell decks are going to be on the rise, so that's why this is good. For the 1-0s, we run 1 Metaltron. I summon him here and there. And, I usually summon him during the mirror match, and if they can't get over it, I basically win. They'll scoop. And for the other 1-0, we run 1 Imperial Order. That's the thing with this card. I have I wanted to side deck it because there aren't too many decks that get hurt by this card, and most of the decks that you would expect to get hurt by Imperial Order can, like Orcus, like it dampers Orcus, but like Orcus can play around this. I actually flipped this against an Orcus player, and I lost because he had enough resources to play around me and basically kill my board. Anyways, that is it for the deck profile. That concludes the True Draco deck list. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and hopefully I will see you again. Alright, Solid Reduction signing out.